Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to class. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Kay, your English teacher for First Additional Language, grade 9. Okay, let's start. Right, so today we are continuing with the revision of figures of speech. So today's lesson is not going to be lengthy. We are just doing a follow-up from yesterday's lesson, okay? Right, on our previous lesson, we classified the figures of speech. We classified them to comparison, sound devices, contradictions, exaggeration, and understatement, as well as others, okay? We said figures of speech under comparison, they compare people and objects, okay? And then we said figures of speech under sound devices, they reinforce meaning through sound. We then said figures of speech under contradictions, they are conflicting or have opposing ideas. And then we said figures of speech under exaggeration and understatement, they make something seem more or less than it really is, okay? So euphemism would be an example in this case of making something less than it really is, okay? And then hyperbole, of course, for exaggeration. And then for others, we said there's actually quite a whole lot. Puns and rhetorical questions, they fall under others, okay? Right, so yesterday we did the matching of column A and column B. And I noticed that a lot of you guys were very familiar with the alliteration, personification, and simile, as you should. But the euphemism one, you were not so clear on what it is, okay? So today I am just going to try and focus on it a bit. Right, so euphemism, it's a figure of speech that expresses an unpleasant or uncomfortable situation in a more sensitive, kind, and tactful manner, okay? So the purpose of this figure of speech is to soften the blow, protect feelings, or to be politically correct, okay? So the purpose of this figure of speech is to protect feelings, to soften the blow, and to be politically correct, okay? Just to give you an example, remember yesterday when we did the matching column A and B, we said, sorry for my trouble. You would use that if you are about to bother someone. You're about to ask a person to do something for you, okay? So you would say, sorry for my trouble, okay? Because you know that you are about to ask them to do something for you, okay? So other examples that are very general would be using the word pregnancy termination instead of saying abortion, okay? You can say a person has passed away instead of saying he died, right? You can say a person is big boned instead of using the word fat or overweight. And then you can say a person is slim instead of saying skinny. So those are the examples, okay? You can also use the word, let's say, if a person has been fired, you can say he has been let go, okay? So that's another expression of a euphemism, okay? That is how we use euphemism, right? So here's an example that I want you guys to try out. So here you are saying he is not the sharpest pencil in the box, okay? So we have used this sentence. What is this person trying to say? When you are saying that he is not the sharpest pencil in the box, what is it that you are trying to say? You can type your answer on our chat box, or you can raise your hand, any that you prefer. When you say he is not the sharpest pencil in the box? Sky?
Ma'am,
Yes.
yes, ma'am. When you say not the sharpest pencil in the box, you mean that he's not very smart.
Well done. Thank you so much, Sky. That's correct. Right. So when we say he is not the sharpest pencil in the box, you are trying to say that that person is not smart. Okay. So instead of you just blatantly saying it, you would use the word the expression that he is not the sharpest pencil in the box. Okay, so that is how we use a euphemism, right? So I'm hoping that next time you see the word euphemism, it won't be foreign language to you. It will be something that you are very much familiar with. Okay, and what's nice about it is that we use euphemisms like all the time in our daily interactions. So this is not something that you can only use when you are writing exams or when you are only at school. This is the type of language that you should use whenever you are interacting with people. Okay. Right, let's move on. Okay, so yesterday, remember, we spoke about sound devices, okay? So when we are talking about sound devices, we are talking about figures of speech that use sound to reinforce meaning, okay? So we said if you come across a question that says, identify the sound device, okay? Already in your mind, you should know that you are looking for alliteration, you are looking for assonance, you are looking for a rhyme, you are looking for those things, okay? So here they say refer to line 2. Okay, there's line 2. I have it for you. And then they say identify the sound device. Okay, so based on the sound devices that you guys know that we mentioned yesterday, what is the sound device from line 2? What is the sound device from line 2? Is it Yaya?
It's alliteration.
Well done. And how were you able to see its alliteration? Yaya?
Uh,
Yes, how were
because
you able to identify the alliteration?
fleeting foot and fled start with the same letter.
All right. Thank you so much. Well done. That's correct. All right. As he has said that it is alliteration, okay? So I said, remember, when they ask you for a sound device, you already know that you are looking for a figure of speech that reinforce meaning through sound, okay? And those are the figures of speech. And the answer for this one, it is alliteration, okay? So remember, we also said you must be able to explain the suitability of the figure of speech, okay? So here they've explained it. Okay, so with you, you wouldn't be able to explain this because you don't know the entire passage. Okay, we didn't read it, so you wouldn't know. But at least you can see how they have explained the suitability. So when they say explain, this is what they want you to do. Okay, so here they've said that the repetition of the F sound. Okay, as you can see, fleeting foot, fled. Okay. All of these words, they start with the letter F. Okay. Right. So let's move on. Here they say refer to the lines 23 to 24. Explain the irony of Banquo's words. Okay, there we go. Right. So here, what is happening is that Banquo is a character from the Macbeth play. Okay. So this is a dialogue between Banquo and Macbeth. Okay. So Macbeth is just reminding Banquo to not forget about the feast or the banquet that they will be having. Okay. I'm just explaining this for some of you who have never read the play, okay? But that is not the point today. That is not the focus. The focus is the word irony. Remember, irony is one of the figures of speech, okay? And it belongs under the classification of contradictions, okay? So here they say explain the irony of Banquo's words, okay? So before we even continue, I want to know, what did we say irony is? Or according to your own understanding, when we talk about irony, the figure of speech irony, what is it? Figure of speech irony. Okay, I see Dirish has raised his hand. Dirish, okay, I'm not sure if your audio is working fine. I am struggling to unmute you, but if you don't mind, please type your answer on our chat box. Okay. So guys, irony. We said it falls under the classification of the figures of speech that are contradictions. So what is irony? What do you understand when it comes to irony? We did explain irony yesterday. Irony is a figure of speech. Okay, let's take someone else. I see another hand here. Yeah.
It's an expression in which you mean the opposite of what you're saying.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Aya. So that is very much correct. We spoke about, okay, I see there's an answer in our chat box. Let me have a look at it quickly. Okay, I don't know what happened to my chat. Okay, there it is. Okay, I see Dirish has responded. Irony implies the opposite of what is said. Okay, both of you guys are correct. Well done. Now, based on what you see in front of you, you see that there's a dialogue between Banquo and Macbeth, okay? And Banquo is saying, my lord, I will not. So Macbeth is just reminding Banquo to not forget about their feast, like he is being invited to the feast. So based on what you know about this dialogue, okay, what do you think happened? What do you think happened? Remember, the question says, explain the irony of Banquo's words. And Banquo said, my lord, I will not, okay? So Macbeth said, fail not our feast, okay? Meaning that make sure you come to our feast. And Banquo said, my lord, I will not, okay? Meaning that he will not fail to come, he will be there. So now they say here, explain the irony of Banquo's words. Okay, I know that some of you guys, you don't know the entire play. So that is why I am asking you based on the dialogue, the one that you see in front of you. So what do you think happened? Okay, guys, remember we said irony, it is the opposite of what is being said, right? So if they say they explain the irony of Banquo's words, chances are Banquo did not arrive, Okay, that is why here they are saying refer to line 23 and 24. Okay, now there's line 23, fail not our first, then there's line 24, my Lord, I will not. Okay, so when they say explain the irony, it means that Banquo said something else, meaning that he said he was going to come, but he did not. Okay, let's just have a look at the answer. Right, as you guys said, that irony is the use of words to convey the opposite of the literal meaning. So you're saying something, and then when it comes to your action, doing the opposite. Okay, right. So yeah, Banquo promises Macbeth that he will attend the banquet that evening. Okay, little does Banquo know that he will not attend it, but be a ghost. Okay, so what happened is that Banquo is supposed to attend the banquet, but he was murdered that night, right? It's not that he planned for the entire thing to be irony. He really wanted to be there, but he was murdered. Okay, so basically the irony that they are talking about here, it's Banquo saying that he will attend the feast, and then he was murdered, and he ended up not attending the entire feast. Okay, so remember, when we talk about irony, we are talking about what you say, and then in terms of your action, you are conveying the opposite. Okay. Right, let's move on. So here, they say refer to line 6, right, and identify the figure of speech. Right, so there is line 6, right? It says, my way of life is falling into the sear, the yellow leaf, and that which should accompany old age. Okay, this is still taken from the Macbeth play. Okay, I hope the English is just not too difficult for you guys. I won't be asking you so much about the context, but I am just focusing on the figures of speech. Okay, so based on what you see in front of you, what is the figure of speech from line 6? What is the figure of speech from line 6? You can start reading from the part that says, my way of life is falling into the sear, the yellow leaf, and that which should accompany old age. In fact, line 6 is just one sentence that is, my way of life is falling into the sear, the yellow leaf, and that's it. So based on that line, what is the figure of speech? They. Okay. Do I have a hand up? Okay. Okay, Sky, he just responded. He said, a metaphor. Right. Do you guys agree with Sky? Is it a metaphor? Is there anyone who has something different? I see that Tando is saying it's a simile. But remember, guys, before you identify the figure of speech, just bear in mind the meaning of that figure of speech or the definition of that figure of speech. Remember, for a simile, there has to be like or as. Like or as. So, Tando, do you see like or as? You have to see like or as when it comes to a simile. So, well done to Sky. It is a metaphor. Right. So, Sky, you said it is a metaphor. If you're saying it is a metaphor, what is being compared here? What is being compared? What is the comparison? What are the two things that are being compared here? Remember, a metaphor falls under the classification of comparisons. So yes, it is correct that there's a metaphor there, but what is it that is being compared? And it's being compared to what? Well, then again, sky, he is saying the life and the yellow leaf. That is correct, guys. So metaphor is correct. Here, Macbeth compares his life to leaves, okay? We know this because he said, my way of life is falling into this year. And then comma, the yellow leaf. Right, okay. So a sear is just a small green vineyard, but then again, he continues to be specific, the yellow leaf, okay? So that's how you would know that this is a metaphor, because life is being compared to a leaf, okay? All right, let's see, what do you guys have here? Right, I see that Yaya raised his hand. Okay, is it regarding to what we've just spoke about? Okay, let's move on. Right, here they say refer to line 1 to 3. Identify the figure of speech. Okay, so there is line 1 to 3. Is there anyone who would like to read this? Anyone who's not shy, who wouldn't mind to read this? Okay, I see Yolisa has raised her hand. Hi, Yolisa.
Hi, ma'am.
Okay, please read for us.
Okay, ma'am.
Right.
Tammy, I don't need to go to university to learn what my people really want. Is a really strong double dose of that traditional old Xhosa remedy called inkululeko, freedom. So right now, I'm not sure what I want.
Okay, if you don't mind, Yolisa,
Yes,
please
ma'am.
read for us again. And remember
Okay.
that after want, there's no comma, so you are not going to pause, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, just take a deep breath and then
Okay,
read
ma'am.
again. Okay.
Okay. Tammy, I don't need to go to university to learn what my people really want. Is a really strong double dose of that traditional old Xhosa remedy called inkululeko, freedom. So right now, I'm not sure what I want.
All right, thank you so much, Yolisa.
Pleasure, ma'am.
All right. Okay, guys. So remember, the question here is identify the figure of speech in these lines, which is line 1 to 3, and which are the lines that Yoliso has just read for us. Okay, so what's the figure of speech here? What is the figure of speech here? Anyone? What is the figure of speech? Let me give you a clue, guys. Something is being compared here. The classification of the figure of speech that is here is under comparison. Something is being compared. All right, let's see. Okay, I see Yolisa and Yaya are saying it is a metaphor. What do others think? Are they correct? Something is being compared. Okay, to Yolisa and Yaya, you guys are saying a metaphor. So what are the two things that are being compared? What are the two things that are being compared? Two things that are being compared. C. Okay, I see. What is it? What D raised his hand? What D? Am I saying your name correctly?
It's Wade, ma'am.
Way.
Wade, ma'am.
Wade. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, Wade. What's your answer?
Ma'am, I think it's a simile.
You think it's a simile?
Yeah.
Why?
Because you know it's comparing the stuff.
It's comparing what?
Wait, let me read this thing. It's comparing, you know, the university for her to learn. You know what I'm saying?
The university is being compared to what?
To learning.
To learning.
Yes, ma'am.
Remember, before you answer, Wade, I said when you look for a figure of speech, you must remember the definition of that figure of speech. So you said a simile. And a simile, whenever it uses comparison, there must be the word like or as.
Oh,
So there's no like or as here, okay? But do listen up. We will continue to look for the answer.
yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, ma'am.
Okay, I do see that I have answers on our chat box. Let me see, what do you guys have for me? Okay, Yaya and Yolisa, as well as Untitled, they got it correct. They got it correct. Okay, somebody is not. Okay, there we go. Right. So they got it correct. Well done to you guys. There we go. So we have a metaphor. It can't be a simile because we don't have the word like or as. Okay. So Tammy compares freedom to medicine. As you can see, he says, I don't need to go to university to learn what my people really want is a really strong double dose of traditional or Xhosa remedy called Inkululeko. So he is saying that he doesn't want to go to university to learn that what he really wants is a strong double dose of traditional old Xhosa remedy called Inkululeko. And Inkululeko, it's called freedom in English, okay? So he has just made Inkululeko sound as if it is a medicine. Okay, so as you can see, they say Tammy compares freedom to medicine that Black people need to get, that Black people need to get in order to be healed from oppression. Or you can say it is not bottles of pills and medicine, but freedom that will heal Tammy's people. Okay. I understand that you would have to, read the play in order for you to get the entire picture of what Tammy is saying, okay? But one thing that is clear for sure is that, as you can tell, that he has just mentioned double dose of that traditional old Xhosa remedy. Okay, so the remedy is Inkululeko, according to him. So that is a metaphor whereby he is comparing freedom with a double dose of a traditional remedy. Okay, so well done, guys. I see that some of you are just able to identify a figure of speech without having to fully read the entire text. Okay, I think we have one more. Okay, there we go. We have one more and then that will be it. Here they say discuss the irony in the lines 4 and 5. Remember, before you answer, guys, again, you need to think to yourself what is irony before you even go look for an answer. So before you even start reading, you need to ask yourself, what is irony? And you already know that irony, it's when you are doing the opposite of what is being said. Okay, or it's when the opposite of what is being said takes place. Okay, right. So here they say discuss the ironies in line 4 to 5. All right. So I've highlighted 4 to 5 for you to see. 4 to 5 for you to see. So this again has been taken from something that you guys have not read before. But I want you guys to be very quick when it comes to figures of speech, whereby you don't even have to really read the entire text. You're just able to identify the figure of speech. Okay. And remember, we said irony falls under the classification of contradictions, okay? Which means there's opposing ideas or a conflict. Irony is the use of words to convey the opposite of what is happening, okay? Right, I see. I think there's someone there. Okay, thing is, this is quite a lengthy, it's quite a lengthy paragraph, and I don't want to confuse you guys by reading it, whereby you don't really know the entire thing. Okay, so we already know that the figure of speech that they want, the figure of speech that they are talking about, sorry, it's irony. That we know for sure. And we already know what irony is. But how would you explain what is happening here? I want you guys to just have a quick browse at the extract that you see in front of you. There's 2 policemen. There are people being pushed. All right, I see that. I think I do have hands. Let me just see. Okay, you know what, let me just explain this to you, because I think you guys are going to be confused. All right, okay. If you can just read line 5, it says, it was like the preparation for one of the family festivals, okay? His wife made such a fuss over. Wherever he put himself, they bumped into him, okay? But then again, if you can continue, you will get to realize that this entire passage, it has nothing to do with a festival or this day being a happy day. There's nothing joyous about this passage, okay? Let me just show you real quickly. So here it says the family prepares for Mrs. Bamji's imprisonment, okay, which is not a happy occasion, okay? So somebody is going to prison. That's why there are policemen there, okay? So it is compared to the preparation of a family festival, okay? It is being compared to a family festival, okay, which is usually a happy occasion, okay? So basically what we can take from here is that because she was leaving, there was just like so much chaos that was happening, people getting dressed, and policemen being there as well. So this person is saying it was like the preparation for one of the family festivals, okay? Even though, so when you don't know the entire story, you would think that it was a happy day. But once you get to read what is happening, you realize that it is actually a very, very sad occasion, because somebody is preparing, or the family is preparing for this person's imprisonment, okay? So remember, always, irony, it means the opposite, okay? So Here they are talking about a family festival, which would be a happy occasion, whereby when you read the entire passage, it has nothing to do with it being a joyous or a happy occasion. Okay, so that is it for today regarding the figures of speech. In fact, I think when it comes to revision for figures of speech, we are finished today. If you have any questions for me, feel free to email me. Sorry, I don't have my email address today. I had it yesterday. But you must feel free to email me, and don't forget to follow us on our social media. Tomorrow, we are going to be starting with the tone, the mood, and the voice of tone, okay? Because that will be in your exams as well. Don't panic. The tone and the voice of tone, they are very, very similar. You won't get confused. You will still be fine. Okay. So tomorrow we're starting with that. If there's still anything that you don't understand regarding the figures of speech, let me know and then I will help you out. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.